Nerevar, I know that girl is still asleep. She ought to have been aware of me by this point.
All right, Hajdik. You have trouble with the spells, that is so, but that does not mean you will never do better, no matter what the other Dunmer say. They say that only because you have one of our names, because they think of you as a beast in Dunmer flesh. Now stand up. There, you see. You managed to heal the cut this time. Now let us get back to the mission. Your distraction gave us just what we needed to finish our game of Hide the Alfic.
Nerevar, can you hear me?
Dad? I'm sorry. It was a stressful day, and when I've had a bad day, I think of... I'm glad you showed. I was beginning to worry.
I'm sorry it took me this long to show. I simply had a lot to think about after reading your mother's journal, and there were things I checked on too. At any rate, what happened that was so stressful today, and who was that Argonian?
That was Imkilea, He was the one to handle most of my education when I was a child. And Orvis Dren figured it out. That I was the one freeing the slaves. He might not even have been entirely sure, but it sounded that way to me. I don't think he was threatening me with it, though. That was the strange part. He seemed to want to convince me the slavery was a good thing.
Well, of course he wouldn't outwardly threaten you. He's a dreamer, and I could ruin him in ways that, well, at any rate, you don't need to worry about him. All right? I'll handle him, and if I get even the slightest hint that he's going to act against you, well, you get the idea. Now, what else happened today? Did you at least have a few dances?
Well, a few, yes. Orvis Dren was one of them, and a random Imperial, and, Vivec. He thought if I was seen with him, it might help my odds of getting another dance from someone else.
You danced with Vivec. Moon and Star, you know how I feel about... Look, I know he helped us, but all my other objections, his role in betraying your first incarnation, his age, his treacherous nature, aside, the one you should be concerned about is this. You would end up being just another learning experience for Vivec. The man has absolutely no concept of true fidelity. Considering what his profession was before he gained the power of the heart of Lorcan, the point is, he is not capable of giving you what you deserve to have. It would be a shame for me to have to march down to his temple and break every bone in his body because he thought he could.
Dad, you can relax. I'm not interested in Vivec. He's nice to talk to every now and then, maybe to learn from, but he's not really... Plus, I don't think I'm his type. I was wandering about the crowd and found him in rather an intimate sort of discussion with another man, so...
Well, that's good to hear. Now, tomorrow will be the last day, and then you'll be starting back. Once you've returned, there's a lot we need to talk about. More than just about the journal, well, I don't want to go into all of it here. I'm going to let you get back to sleep. And whatever stress you were feeling, whatever fear that slaver might have put in you, whether for yourself or others, there is nothing for you to worry about, honestly. Thinking he can manipulate my daughter, the utter gall, I may just decide to bless him if he tries this nonsense again.
That means you're going to, for sure. One thing I remember from all the incarnations before is that you don't give up.
I've been known to change my mind from time to time, but when it comes to those I care for, well, a legion of Daedric princes would stand no chance against my wrath.